So we sometimes get asked, what if you have a leader who's telling the same story over and over again, and it's driving everyone crazy, right?
Yeah.
And I saw a great anecdote. Sorry, it shouldn't be an anecdote. An antidote.
Right.
Right. An antidote for this. Again, an insurance company CEO had this great little technique. What he would do is every week he'd be out looking for a story around a big topic that he was interested in. And for him, it was about risk management. And he would spend a week looking for a risk management story. And then the next week, he would tell it for a week.
Right.
But as he was telling it for a week, he was looking for his next risk management story.
Yep.
And it was like this one step at a time. And as a result, he never really repeated the same stories. But he had this great other benefit, which was he was in amongst his staff and he was asking questions.
He was looking for the story.
And he was looking through the story process. He was engaging with people.
Yes.
It was phenomenal. They loved him. Absolutely loved him.
Yeah. Yeah, and another perspective from the sales perspective.
Yeah.
Like one of my clients a few years ago, Matt, he was the founder and managing director of an insurance company. Not insurance, a commercial real estate company, sorry.
Right.
And when I met him, he told me 3 stories in the first 2 minutes, you know. I mean, it was just story after story. And then when I got in working with his staff a little bit, I realised that they were rolling their eyes at these stories, you know.
Right.
And they'd heard them all before. But what they didn't appreciate was that his clients hadn't heard them all before, right? So he's out there meeting all kinds of clients. He's telling these stories again and again, and they're having a powerful effect.
Yes.
So his staff, the sales team, were like, oh, not that story again, and not realising that there was actually huge power in those stories. They were real connecting stories that he was telling, you know.
I must admit I had that experience working at IBM. I worked with Dave Snowden.
Yep.
And Dave, he's a terrific storyteller, right? But he has a repertoire of stories that he tells.
Yeah, and you know them all.
And I know them all. At the time, I could sit there as he was telling them, and I could mouth them, you know, as they're being told. And I did. At first, I thought, oh, this is driving me crazy. But then I finally linked in.
Yes.
He's worked out which ones work, right?
And so,
trial and error.
You know, adults don't like to hear the same story twice. So we do need to be mindful of, you know, not telling the same story to a client, for example, this exact same story.
Yes.
But you can word up your own stuff. If you're going into meetings and say, look, I'm going to tell the old favourite whatever, and they go, okay, I know that's coming.
Well, nod along.
Well, yeah, exactly. They'll nod along and they'll know that why you're telling it, basically, right? Yeah. Because the story has a purpose. And there's a reason that it's told and retold, is it's a good story and it's doing work.
But I think that the key thing here is that you just have to be mindful of the stories you tell and the audience you're telling it to, and that will help solve that problem of you know, people hearing the same story over and over again, which we don't like.
That's right. There's not a reason not to tell a good story again, though.
Indeed.